It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so the next fighter in our prospect review video series is none other than that man right there, Antonio Perez, 9-0, 5 KOs, lightweight prospect. I just had a chance to watch him fight on the Don King card in early December, and he actually wound up winning the WBC International lightweight title. So he's not ranked in the top 15 yet. I'm not sure where his exact ranking is in the WBC as of yet, but that's going to give him some good standing with the WBC and good ranking position, as far as, what he wants to do with his career. But let's talk about him. So Antonio Perez, he's coming to you guys live and direct from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And, he's done a little bit of campaigning at 130. I mean, he's had some fight. No, scratch that. He's fought some fights at 47. This last fight he had was at 135, and he actually scored a good win. The opponent that he beat in his 9th pro fight was none other than veteran himself, Lydell Rhodes. And Lydell Rhodes is a good veteran. He's fought Floyd Schofield. He fought Edner Cherry. He's fought Sergey Lipinets. He's been around the block. He sparred Devin Haney. He sparred Tio. He's very, very experienced. He's about as experienced as they come around these weights. So to fight a guy like that in your 9th fight, and he beat him relatively easily. Like he didn't knock him out, but I thought he boxed him pretty soundly, and he was just a little bit faster to get off his punches, and he was first. He was the guy to throw his punches first. He got off first, and that's why he was able to win a lot of the exchanges. So good win there to capture the WBC International title, right? So there's that. And then as far as his amateur credentials, there are a couple names that I do know that he beat as an amateur. Like for example, he beat one of South Florida's very own in Marcel Barletier, who was once a highly touted prospect and then kind of went into hiding and had a year or two layoff, and then now he's getting active again. But that's a good win in the amateur, so he beat him. And then he also beat 2024 U.S. Olympian Omari Jones. Omari Jones just qualified for the Olympics. He'll be competing in the Olympics later on this year, so he has a win over him. So good amateur background for him with that fight. And then the other thing that I know about Antonio Perez is the fact that he actually had some back and forth, some beef with another South Florida fighter, Antonio Bang Williams. Apparently, they were supposed to fight. Bang Williams pulled out the fight a couple times, so I'm hoping that's a fight that can happen down the line because Bang Williams needs to do something to get relevant in boxing again. I think he's fallen off a little bit from the guy I saw back in 2019, so I'd like to see Antonio Perez versus Antonio Bang Williams. Hopefully, Don King Productions makes that happen at some point. But as far as his style, the way I would classify him is that he's a heavy-handed fighter who likes to box at range, but he has capable knockout power. I don't think he's an elite knockout puncher, but I think he's got respectable knockout power. But he's a good boxer. He's a boxer puncher that leans much more towards being a boxer than a puncher. But he's still only 22, so maybe when he fills out a little bit more, he winds up being a bigger puncher. But as far as you're gonna ask BT, how do you know for sure that Antonio Perez isn't like a world-class knockout puncher? I'm going to tell you how I know. All the guys he fought, like in the local Pennsylvania shows like Harrisburg and whatnot, he knocked all those guys out, most of those guys out. The guys that had bad records, the guys that weren't that experienced. But the minute he started stepping up to more experienced fighters, like for example, in June of last year, he fought welterweight Nigel Fennell. Nigel Fennell is from San Diego. He's been in camp with guys like Jaime Munguia. He fought Trayshawn Wiggins. Not the greatest fighter in the world, but knows how to survive. Is good little veteran fighter. Nigel Fennell took him the distance when he fought Lydell Rhodes, who's extremely experienced in a 10-rounder in a more favorable weight class where he was bigger. He took him the distance. So I think his punch power will get your attention, but I don't think he's a world-class puncher. He's an above-average puncher, but I don't think he's a world-class puncher. But a good well-rounded fighter nonetheless. So as it stands right now, Harrisburg's very own Antonio Perez, he's the number 127th ranked fighter in the lightweight division on BoxRec. He's got the WBC International lightweight title, so I would anticipate that he's a lot higher than 127 in the WBC. Well, let's see who's in and around him, who we can maybe fight. So I'm looking at him, and he's got some real interesting names. I mean, if you look at 4 spots below him, you got Rene Alvarado, who I think would be a real intriguing fight for him. You know, Rene Alvarado fought Lamar Roach, so you know he got a good experience. Diego Torres he fought Rene Murataya, Jonathan Escobedo, another tough Mexican fighter. So we know that he's got a big knockout record. That'd be a good fight for Perez, I feel, to test his boxing skills. You got him at 125. You got Nikolai Schwab, who's I've known for years down here in South Florida, from Kazakhstan. He's at 120. That'd be a good chess match for him. So there's fights out there. There's definitely some fights out there for Antonio Perez. At 114, you got Alex Martin, who's fought tons of fighters in the past on PBC. So there's definitely he's getting to that stage now where he can definitely step up and make some noise. You got Floyd Schofield at 105th in the world. So any one of those fights that I named for Harrisburg's very own Antonio Perez will suffice. And I like him. I like him. I like his attitude. He's not really one to talk a whole lot, because there was a lot of talking from Antonio Bang Williams at the press conference. He wasn't talking a whole lot. He's a serious fighter, and I just think that he needs to continue stepping it up, continue working in the gym, and definitely start working on more on those feints. You know, I think he does got a good jab. I think he's got above average speed. He's got respectable KO power. I think it's just those small things, the feints, the probes, the things that set up the punches that matter for him. But that's my little synopsis on the fighting pride of Harrisburg, Antonio Perez. Like him, good fighter. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about Antonio Perez? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.